Hey, we're the Minutes, and music's changed our lives. This is probably like the 500 millionth time that we would have explained this, but myself and Mark are cousins. So I met him when I was basically born, and then Mark went to college for like about 3 days. I met Tom there, and that's when we got Tom out of Mark going to college, and then from there we just started playing. We've been playing together in bands for myself and Mark for about 15 years, and then Tom sort of came on board about like 9 years ago or something, 8 years ago.
It's actually, no, it's about 10 years.
10 years, so, and then at the minute it's 4 years, so yeah, we've been in and around 10 to 15 years playing instruments and music together, so.
I think I remember I was 14, so he was 11.
Yeah.
I got a guitar. I know there was a guitar in my house actually. My younger brother got a guitar for Christmas because he liked Bryan Adams, of all people. But he never played it, and then I remember one day trying to figure out some song, it was an Ash song or something. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm gonna figure this thing out. Like, I got the guitar down.
You're still learning.
So I'm nearly there now. I can nearly play that song. And then after that, then we just sort of, it was more of a thing so we could sort of hang out together because he lived like a couple of miles away. So we just sort of started playing music together because he was like, well, if you're gonna play guitar, then I'll play the drums. That was it. And everybody thought he was gonna stop. Yeah, he'll have them for 10 minutes and then he'll put them down, like, you know. So yeah, that's how it happened.
Pretty early. As I was saying, like when you find something you're good at, like you want to sort of just pursue that. So, you know, I don't know, 13, I wanted to do this when I was career, like. So I had to get through school first, finish school, get a job. Then finally got to leave that job and make this my career, like, so still trying to make some money, but doing it. Still waiting for it.
Yeah. we were talking about how we've got to this point, which is fairly, we're still we're at the bottom still as far as we're concerned. So like, I think the way that you work yourself up, if you want to do things, you set yourself like little goals. Like for us, we were like, say for example, like he said, playing in Eamon Doran's when we were kids. We were like, okay, we need to get a gig there. That's where everybody's playing gigs. That's where we need to get to, like, you know. And then a couple of months transpire, and then you've got the gigs and you're playing there. It's like, okay, now we need the next goal. Okay, we need to make a demo. We need to do this. We need to do whatever. We've always set ourselves little goals so that, like, once you achieve them, while you're on your way to getting it, you know that you're going to get it, so you get to the next point. So, you know, we've had those sort of increments as we've gone along. We've never really said, once we get this thing, that's it, that's our big break. Like, because even when we got the record deal and all that stuff, we were sort of like, we were expecting it because we had put in so much work. We were like, we need this now. This is what we need to happen. This is how it has to go, I think.
You set yourself achievable goals. So then when you get to that point, like if we were to think about like where we are now, like 3 years ago, it would have been like, geez, that's impossible. It's never going to happen. But then when it happens, you're like, the way things were going and the work we put in, you know, you can't put so much work into something and not get something out of it. You know, that's not the way life works. And it's just sort of happened that way. So we keep achieving goals, but like we're always striving to get to the next level. So, you know, where we are now, like, it's like, you know, we're meant to be here. We've done the work. We've been through all this shit. You know what I mean? This is just what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? We're making this happen ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? So if you make it happen yourself, it'll happen. If you give up, or if you just have,
or if you sit around waiting for somebody else.
Yeah, if you sit around waiting for somebody else to make it happen for you, believe me, it's not gonna happen that way. So you just gotta make it do it yourself. But yeah, that big break, I don't know what that big break is, you know, because you're always climbing the ladder. So what is the big break? Is the big break, you know, the big break for us is probably putting an album out, like getting it recorded and sticking it out, and that's a big thing, you know. But luckily we got help from a label. We got signed and they helped us put it out, because it's really hard to put out an album, and yeah, that's probably a big break for us, sticking that out and getting it out there and letting people see it and hear it and hate it or love it or, you know, criticise it. Who gives a shit? It's out there and it's what in a band that's a big thing you got to do. You got to get the album out, like so.
I think the thing about maybe for us how it's changed our lives is that we've always had shitty jobs. We've always had no money. We've always had all these things because we've been so obsessed by music and wanted to make this our life for so much of our life that it's almost, it nearly affected all the other stuff. You know, all our mates went off to Australia and travelled and got to see the world and done all these things, but like we stayed at home because like we had to work on the band. That's what we had to do. Some people might say, oh, you know, but you missed out on those times when like you could have went travelling or you could have got a good job and all that shit. But I think we've just been so stubborn in the fact that we wanted to do this that it's well, right now it's changing for sort of a decent reason. Like, you know, it feels good.
We're happy, you know. Sitting in a job that you hate, there's nothing worse. I don't want to spend the rest of my life being in a job that I hate just for a few quid at the end of the week. It's nice, like, but I've done it for so many years in a job that I hated, like, but I'm happy doing this now. We mightn't be making loads of money now, but you know, who knows down the road we could be making more money, and that's like, I think being happy in what you do is the most important thing, and for music that's sort of giving us that road of happiness. If that sounds a bit cheesy, but it sort of has, like, because you can get really bogged down in shitty jobs just trying to make a few quid for a few points, but you got to think about when you're 45 with 5 kids in a house going, what happened in my life?
Yeah, but the other point of it as well, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
if that's what you want.
It didn't make us happy.
We never wanted that. That to us is like not good right now.
No.
But for somebody else, that's, you know, that's all they ever wanted, and that's cool. Like, but for us, we're just stubborn bastards. Just had to be music. Had to, really.
Because if it's not, then what else? There was nothing else for us. It's like, Jesus, lads,
the
if
bin.
the band doesn't work out, we're fucked.
Just throw the lads in the bin. They're finished.
Yeah, it's giving us something to focus on instead of just, you know, going about your day every day, just like Groundhog Day. And that's for me. Keep going back to just having a job, like in an office or whatever, but like Groundhog Day, the same thing every day with the same people. At least when you're doing something in music or in a band, like, you know, we're getting to like, go to Moscow next week. We never thought we were ever going to go to Moscow. Like, who goes to Moscow, you know? And everybody say, oh, we're playing a gig in Moscow. They're like, really? Holy shit, like, you know. So yeah, we're getting to do things that maybe we probably wouldn't have got to do in other sort of careers.
Try and play or do what you love. Like, you know, if you love listening to like whatever, who's young kid music these days? Not like Britney Spears. Nobody listens to Britney Spears,
like
but
Ed
like,
Sheeran or someone.
well, okay, so if you like Ed Sheeran, like, you know, try and play some of his songs, or like, you know, I think that's how we learned how to play music, is by playing other people's songs. We were mad into Radiohead and Tin Lizzy and stuff like that. Just like, you know, try figure it out. Don't take no for an answer. Like, you know, stubbornness is pretty, I think it's pretty, is a pretty important factor in, like, you know, if you want to play music, there's a lot of hours that you gotta have to dedicate to doing it, like, you know, and that's being stubborn minded, like sitting down with your guitar, your drums or whatever, and just like, just putting your mind to it, like, you know, and believing you can do it, even if it seems really hard. Like you said, even those little goals, like set yourself like something by the end of the week, I want to be able to do this, or that's how I'd say it. I mean,
It's the little things that keep you going as well, like in a band, you know. You can sort of lose sight of what you really want, but it's every little gig you do and you're like, geez, that gig was amazing. That those things keep you going and they make you want to keep going. Just if you really want to do it, don't give up, because it will happen. It has to happen, like, you know.